What's up, y'all? So today's topic, we're going to get into...
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah, what's up, baby?
I hear you're going to be talking about inches.
Yeah, I am going to be talking about inches.
That's a good idea. You know, anytime you get the opportunity to get more inches, it's a good thing.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about cubic inches on a motorcycle, baby.
Oh.
What were you talking about?
Let's have this conversation off camera. Let's roll that intro.
Oh, shit. Hey, what's up, y'all? So as you saw from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about cubic inches, bigger motors, and displacement in motors. And the reason that's coming up is it seems like everybody is going to bigger and bigger motors. Now, of course, that's been happening for years. I am old enough to remember when an 80-inch Evo was a huge V-twin motor. I'm old enough to remember when the 1500cc Valkyries and the 1500cc Goldwings were like massive monster motors on bikes. Like that was just a big motor. I remember when the twin cam 88 came out and we were like, holy shit, 88 inches, that's just massive. And then when you started having motors come out in like custom motors for bikes, different companies would have these monster motors like TP Engineering, S&S, RevTech, I think I said them a little bit ago. Man, they would have these 124 inch, 130 inch custom motors. But on the production side, you know, you'd see the 80 inch, then you went to 88, then we got the 96 inch in Harley, and then we got the 103 twin cams. And then we're like, whoa, holy shit. And then we had like the 110 kits, and there was always been an extra kit to bump it up, but production size motor. They're just getting bigger and bigger because, I mean, even now, let's just look at the progression. Let's talk about Harley Davidson. You look at the progression, like, you know, the 107 inch Milwaukee 8 motor, that's 107 is a big size motor. Polaris with Indian has just steadily increased some of their motor sizes to the 111s and the 116s now. You look at Harley now, you've got 114s on a lot of touring bikes. You got your 117s on the ST bikes. They just put the 121, the liquid cooled on the CVOs, which is a big talking point today. Your 131 inch crate motor. Motors have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And the reason I'm talking about this today is some of the rumors going on with new bigger motors. So I bring this up because I had an article sent to me, a link sent for an article by somebody about the new Indian Pursuit. And the Pursuit was going to have 150 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque. And I said, holy shit, that's crazy. Of course, now that's their numbers from the crank. I understand that. But when you start thinking about that and looking at the motor, and they said, and the article talked about the motor. So, and I'm not smart enough to be able to do CCs to cubic inches in reverse. I'm just not. So I had to Google all this shit. So it talked about having a motor that was 1923 cc's, which is roughly 117 inch motor. The current Pursuit has the 108 inch motor, which is like 1796 cc's. I know the Goldwing being 1833 cc's. When I have to Google all this, I'm sure I'm going to put it up, but that's like a 111 inch motor. So you start looking at the size of the motors, and I started looking at this new Pursuit and the things they're doing with it, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. The other rumor was Goldwing. Now this one right here, there's those AI videos that they come up with on YouTube is where I got a lot of this, but those AI videos are talking about a possibility in 2024 or 2025 of a 2000 cc or a 2-liter Goldwing, and I was like, wow, that's huge. That's a bit. 2,000 cc's is huge. Now, of course, when I went and looked on the Goldwing forums, different things, nobody believes that's going to happen. Now, a lot of guys are saying, look, man, look how long Honda holds on to an engine. Like, you got to realize they had a run, I think, from 2001 to like 2000, or I'm sorry, from 2001 to like 2016 or 17 on that current motor. I could have the years off. I might put that up where I fucked up, but, they do long runs, so a lot of people are kind of we have a tough time believing that. I don't know that that's true, but just that rumor of a 2000 cc motor. I remember years ago, like I said, when I was talking about other bikes, when you had 80-inch Evos and V-twins, and Honda had their 1300 VTX, and then they had the VTX 1800, which was supposed to be the Harley killer, they called it, and all these people loved them. And they were fast, big-inch bikes, but those are big motors. That's a lot of displacement. The old saying, you know, there's no replacement for displacement. We've heard that over and over again. So as these motors get bigger and we get more horsepower, I think it's deep inside every one of us just a little bit to want to beat your buddy. I mean, in all honesty, when you go take off and you race your buddy, if you've got a few more horsepower and a few more ponies and you can get past him, or your bike's a little quicker, we all get happy. That doesn't mean that having great big inch bikes makes you a better rider or makes your bike faster. Sometimes it does. Sometimes guys who really know how to ride well and can really know how to race they can beat you on a bike that's less cc's or less horsepower or less torque than yours because they're good riders and they know how to race, not do that. What is your opinion? Is there something that's tempting you to go with a bigger motor? Is there something, if you are an Indian rider and you ride a Challenger or you ride or a Chieftain or one of the other bikes or a Scout or whatever, is there something with a bigger motor that's tempting you? Does the Pursuit having a 117 coming out with this possibility of less horsepower, does that tempt you? If you're a Harley rider and you're riding, let's say a Twin Cam 103, or you're riding a 107 Milwaukee 8, are you tempted with looking at the 117s and looking at the 114s? And the only reason I ask is because do we need that big a motor? I say, do we need? I think it's a want. Like if you're somebody who tours across the country, there's plenty of people who tour across the country on stock Harley motors and stock Indian motors and stock Goldwing motors and never do anything else to them and love them. I know for the type of riding I do, I don't ride two up very much. Mrs. Smitty Riding went riding with me this weekend. I got to lay the bike in some curves, do some things with her. We went rode with some friends, with Joey and Becky and George. And I realized, man, this bike is plenty powerful for she and I to do two up and go as far as we want to. It's got everything that I need, I want, and then some. But that want for the bigger motor, when the newest and best thing comes out, sometimes we jump on it. But like I said, I want to know what you think. Are you tempted? Are you tempted to look at a bigger liquid cooled motor like the Pursuit? Harley CVOs, 121 inch liquid cooled motor. That thing is going to be sick. I think that thing is setting the bar for people with liquid cooled motors to say, hey, guess what? This thing's liquid cooled. It's got everything that people who were riding Japanese bikes and riding different cruisers wanted out of Harley. That might tempt some people. The price point's a little high, but I'll put the price point in for the Pursuit. I think it's $32,000. I think it's a Pursuit Elite. Don't quote me. I'll look at the part of the article to get there, but those things are tempting. So what is your thoughts? Do you think a bigger inch motor, or are you tempted by a bigger inch motor to go buy one? Leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell icon so you get notifications when the shit show gets rolling again. Just to talk about displacement, to talk about more horsepower, more torque, to talk about being tempted to go that route. Are you tempted? Would you think about it? Is this something you do? Like I said earlier, let me know in the comments. First of all, I want to tell you thank you for watching. Thank you for continuing to support me. And I want you guys to have a great day. Let's try not to be assholes to each other. And I'll see y'all next time.
With friends like you, who needs enemies? You're not the one you pretend to be. I always thought we were family. Now we're only enemies. Enemies. Yeah, with friends like you, who needs enemies? A two-faced bitch ain't no friend of me.